the course. Here we go then. 25th edition. And they're racing in Dubai in 2026. Pacemakers will go straight to the 4.
And then on towards the 20k as we are approaching now.
Yeah, this men's field, they've gone through 19k with a 3:01 split. Now that's interesting. That's the slowest split for a long time, if it's to be believed. Hopefully it's just a mispositioned kilometre marker. But 20k is a couple of minutes away, this men's field. As you can see them moving well now. And it's still, what, about 15 strong, this men's elite pack. And there's Decisive. Is this the chasing pack in this men's field?
I think this is certainly towards between the two men who've done a great job so far with pacing. Tolesa just trying to chivvy Tuame on, or have they decided to perhaps divide? One go with a faster pace and Tuame stay back with a slower pace behind. I'm not sure who it is who's asked for Tolesa to go on, because they don't seem to be keen to go with him now that he's done that. But certainly there was some chatting going on amongst the two pacemakers, and a decision being made for one to go on and crack on at the pace that's been requested, and the other to stay with the pack and the pace that they seem to. Yeah, I would think so. There are a number of experienced runners in there, as you mentioned. Afterwork is towards the back of this group here and working together with the other women.
Here is the is this the lead group again?
This is the lead group for the women. You can see back down the field, down the road behind, and the lights of the vehicle leading the next group. And yes, that is fairly significant, isn't it, Tim? It's a good couple of 100 meters.
It is, yes. Decisive, tall figure there to the left of that group. Dessie with the red armbands.
You can put that trust in the coach, and Haji will have trained alongside Kamarat Tola and then watched Tola go and run as he did in Doha and establish the fastest time so far this year, and he will know what he's capable of in relation to the great Kamarat Tola, who will be a huge inspiration to him as well. But when he's getting close to him in training, a part of him might be thinking, well, I'm in better shape, so I can go out and better that and run a little bit quicker. And he's certainly running with more confidence the more that this race wears on. Just behind him in the yellow vest, that is Derigna Galeta. He doesn't actually have a marathon time to his time, nor indeed a fast half marathon, but he has run a 63:06 at altitude in Ethiopia, and certainly is another man who perhaps knows from the training coming into this race that he's in shape. And we can see from those splits there's been a little bit of a settling as that pacemaker stepped aside and now are gathering, and the men look around them to see who is keen to push the pace on, and will that allow this group to grow a little and other men to work their way back onto the back of this lead group.
Well, you really hope, don't you, that because the pacemakers dropped out, the pace doesn't slacken. But so often we see that is the effect of a pacemaker dropping out. They've done all the work, they take on the burden of holding a nice high tempo, and when they're gone, nobody else wants to take on that role. Haji here moving really well. Haji Hayato, he's a great track racer too, as we see that beautiful shot. Look at that structure. I mean, it is truly magnificent. The Burj Al Arab easing out into the ocean. It has to be one of the most photographed structures in the Arabian world. I know that the Eiffel Tower in Paris is apparently the most photographed structure in the world. Having been to the Taj Mahal, I think if that was more accessible, it would probably take over that title, because it is the most glorious building I've ever seen, the Taj Mahal. But the Burj Al Arab, is right up there in the top 3 or 4. Surely it's magnificent. Haji working really hard. It checks his watch. He's almost like an unofficial pacemaker here. He's doing all the work through this third quarter. But just like I remember Brendan Foster saying many years ago that in a 10,000 meters, 25 laps of a running track, he'd try and get to 20 laps without really thinking about racing, and then he'd start racing. Maybe in a marathon, Paula, you need to get to what? Third name, made her debut in Berlin and ran so well for 5th place with a 2:21 clocking.
Yeah, you can see another picking up of that 5 kilometers. It's sensible running. It's a smart, small pickup each time. And as we focus on Dessie, I think her experience is really showing in this race. She made sure that she got her bottle. Ketema taking on a gel at this point as well, but Dessie just sacrificed a couple of seconds at that point to be sure that she got her bottle, and has now worked her way back and is running with that for longer. It's good to see Anchinalu learning those lessons of the marathon as well, in doing the same thing, taking on her bottle, taking time to get the gels that are taped to it, the fluid and the fuels into your body at this stage. It is crucial, and you will need that in the closing stages.
Well, Decabo is the surprise package here. There she is, the tallest of these athletes, nearest the camera. Mulia Decabo Haile Mariam, the 27-year-old, has never broken 2:25, and indeed that personal best was when she was second in Houston back in 2023, running a 9th marathon here, but having the best day of her life. And look at those splits, 3:12.
And who is keen to take on the pace, and now it does fall again to the debutant that I was talking about in Nibret Melak. He's 26. He has a personal best over the half marathon distance, an impressive one at 59:06. He was 6th last year in RAC, and indeed finished 7th at the World Half Marathon Championships, and now feeling strong, and obviously feeling that that pace had dropped too much. He didn't like seeing those splits slow, so indicates that his training has gone well in preparation, and he comes into this debut expecting a good performance here and doesn't want to wait around anymore. He's going to keep turning the screw and see if he can break away at this stage in the race and get back closer to that 2:4 pace that they were on earlier.
Yes, Melak with the camera up close there. Predicted race time has just slipped outside 2:04, but that doesn't matter, because here in Dubai, as just about every year, we've got a fabulous race building. Haji, who's looking so up for it, tucked in there in the group at the moment. Yassin Haji Hayato, he's a 2:07 performer. He could well be heading here for a personal best by 2 or 3 minutes, as Melak out in front just looks a little bit more aggressive, doesn't he? There's just something about his body language there, the way that he's striding. I think he's upped his tempo. Yeah, look, quite a short pitter-patter stride, but he looks very comfortable indeed. 1 hour 31 on the clock, and Nibret Melak, for my money, looks like he's cruising along here rather beautifully.
And the others have almost allowed him to do that. They haven't, of course, allowed. They've assessed in their body whether they have the means to go with it at this stage. They're trying to encourage each other, taking turns at the lead of that watch for Mulia Decabo, who is working hard. They're all, of course, working very hard at this stage. They're getting now into that final 10 kilometers where it is really pouring everything that you've got left into, and now, as you mentioned earlier, starting to think about how you win this race.
Well, Fatu Worku, the pre-race favourite at Berlin, 5th place a long time ago now. She's got her own pacemaker here, though, Herpa, who is helping her out. He was one of the pacemakers who brought them through, and she's just dropped back by what, about 10 or 15 meters behind this leading pair, Decabo and Dessie. Dessie, my notes say here, she could be a real danger if she's ready to step up, because Seville last year was her debut and she won. Then she won in Beijing. She's got 2 marathons under her belt so far, and she's won them both. 2:22.17 in Seville, and I presume another year since she had that was nearly a year ago. She's got a good year's training. So Dessie there with the red armbands is confident. She knows how to win. Decabo here on paper is the same class of athletes for that lead group of the women, and in a way this puts my mind at rest a bit, because if she was having to work on her own here and the leading pair are pushing her way up the road, when you see that so often in races where women who have been dropped from the main pack or from the lead group in the latter stages don't get any help, at least she has got some help here to help her along. But then again, you know, there'll be 2 or 3 women behind her stretched back down the road who haven't got pacemakers.
Exactly.
So you can make a really strong case for saying that from 35k, say, even if as late as that, pacemakers in the women's races should drop out.
And Worker will be aware of the fact that although she isn't still challenging for the win, she is still within a shot of beating her personal best time, and that will be motivating her. At the moment, that stands at 2:21.57 in those warm conditions in Berlin.
Melak to write a picture, almost on the home straight now. He can taste victory, he can smell the finish line, so to speak. We are on the, it is on the parade ground of the Dubai Police Academy. He's within the grounds now, 2:03 on the clock. He's coming towards the finish. That's the penultimate turn he makes. He's got a right-hand turn, sorry, it's the third to last turn. He's got a right-hand turn to make now, and then a left-hand turn into the finishing straight, which is 80 meters long. He looks magnificent. He's staying calm, he's not sprinting, and look at this. I was on this a couple of days ago, 2:03 on the clock. Is he going to break 2:04? He's got a left-hand turn to make here now. He can see the finish line. Here he comes. The crowd roar him home. This has been a magnificent debut from this young man. He strides towards the line, sprints to break the tape, and breaks the 2:04 barrier as well. That is quite fantastic. The fastest time in the world this year. It's only the 1st of February, but that is going to take some beating, believe me. I reckon that was about 2:03.57, something like that. Now he can lie down, now he can look tired, but every step over the last 2 hours plus, he has looked like royalty. Quite magnificent. He was in second place, wasn't he?
Yes, he was, but he was visibly tiring.
Well, he's got a gap, maybe Segu, who's wearing number 2, has got his own problems. There's no sight of him yet as Yasin Haji Hayato is in the home finishing straight, and here in fact is Akizin Mana. I think he's in third place, so has something befallen Berhanu Wendimusegu, as here comes the man in second place, Yasin Haji Hayato, a 2:07 performer before today, but this I think is going to be a magnificent run for him, and it's going to be a personal best as he crosses the line in second place by almost exactly 2 minutes. A fantastic run from Haji, and that is a run, a really strong run too from Hakizin Mana. Fatigue up to crossing the line has gone. Here is the form of Nibret Melak. Ethiopia have done it again. Dubai has done it again. It has unearthed a massive talent in this young man. He's only 26 years old. His debut here today was a stunning victory for him. Former track star, former half marathon star, now the fastest man in the world this year.
Anchinalu Dessie, who was keeping her powder dry, if you like, was sitting at the back of that pack, not making any moves, but when she has made a move, it has been decisive in this race, and she has eked out a lead, not yet a winning lead, but certainly a lead that appears to be growing over Mulia Dekebo behind her, who is operating in significant personal best territory, her personal best in those 2:25 range, and she is now operating close to 2:18 if they have maintained the improvements in pace that they were putting on, or indeed if they're steady, they're still around that 2:18.5. Indeed there it
is, and there's challenges going on for athletes. Is that in fact Dekebo she's catching there? Wow.
No, I think this
is a replay
of what happened. So this is obviously the 40k drinks marker, drinks position table, and Dekebo has tried to take on fluids coming back up. She hasn't given up though, she is rallying. Dessie took advantage of that weakness there as she was noticeably struggling to push on and eke out this gap. Has that really grown? It appears to be maintaining, and there can be what, about 500-600 meters of this race left perhaps at this point.
Well, she hasn't got the race won yet. There is chasing going on, but Dekebo here with 2:15 on the clock. Surely is going to break 2:20. This is going to be a personal best for Dessie here, rather, by about 3 minutes, maybe more. It's only her third marathon. She's been a half marathon specialist for the last 3 years. She's run so consistently a half marathon. 3 times she's run in the 67s, 3 times in the 68s, 4 times in the 69s. In the police academy here, and she's got about 100, maybe 200 meters to go. Dessie here, still got targets. Will she finish as strongly as did Melak to take that men's title? There is the second place of Dekebo, who is herself heading for a massive person. Well, she will knock about 7 minutes off her best. Dessie here, Anchinalu Dessie, the 23-year-old. She's still a youngster. She's going to knock about 4 minutes off her lifetime best as she roars towards the finish line here. It's going to be a magnificent win for this young woman. Yet again, her third marathon, her third victory here at the 2026 Dubai Marathon, 2:18 Boston back in 2024. Here is Dessie's winning form. Kip Kemboy there having a tough day at the races, being beaten by the women's winner. Focused, absolutely focused all the way to the line. Never run any track, but we know she's got good speed, a really good 10k in Valencia a couple of years back. And keeping very, how should we say, controlled there, keeping the emotions.
Yeah, I think they came out in the closing strides as she crossed the line, but maintaining that focus and also looking very, very composed.